Okay, so let's do homework 5. This is the part where you do not need to turn in, but I think I can't really hear them. Okay, but I think it's quite necessary to do some of the exercise. It's gonna be helpful to you to understand this data. So the first part is you need to read in the data. I didn't really find the data, so I read it in here already, and I will upload this file onto Google Drive. Yeah. So first, let me make a log. Homework 5. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna open this data. Okay. Let's see this first. As you can see, this is, well, because I read in the data, this is correct. But you can see this is a name and this are the labels, because I don't really want to type in all of this, so I'm just gonna type in stuff here. And so first, let's read the question. We want to make sure we're reading this thing right. So one thing you can do is you can do list, and then you do this. They will give you this basically means just list everything I type in here. So you can say I just want to see this one. So this is what you see. Or you can do one, like I think it's really cool. You can just say code book. And what it, oh, right. Okay, yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. So as you can see, what it gives you is all the basic summary statistics for each variable. So it means like, there are 4 here. So as you can see, there are 4 here for variable here, and then you can see what the type, the range, and the unique values, and what's the frequency of everything. If it's like, there's only 2 numbers here, but there are 12 numbers here, though that's a percentile. But there's how many is missing and what's the unit, but it doesn't really give you the like variance or maximum minimum, right? But this kind of cool. You can just do codebook and give you a lot of things you need already. And then let's do a his graph. Okay, so for this question, let's just do this one. Okay, so it's gonna be, let's do here graph his graph. Which variable? Let's do this. Yes, can you use and say okay. Right, as you can see, this one is, yeah, you can just see what does it look like, what's the distribution, yeah. And then what you can just click this one, and then you change here, say 8t. You can see this one. This one is, kind of familiar. We can say maybe it's normal or not. We can check this later. And let's do the gender. Oh no, sorry, not this one. Sorry. So GD gender. So, well, there are 2 bins here, but let's go back to this graphs and histogram. Let's choose gender and say the data is discrete. Then okay, yeah. So this gives you the graph. This one from that one, there's a little difference, this two, but yeah, just go back and you do it yourself and say what's what do you see. And for this one, I say it probably looks like a bit of normal. So how can we check that? We can do this is called QQ plot. Let's without the code. Let's find here first. So we want to know the distribution. What's the distribution we like, right? There is something called distributional graphs, and then you go for this normal quantile plot. That means I want to see if it looks normal. Let's see this one. Okay. So, well, I won't say this is normal, but but it's close enough. So this is a QQ plot. This one is not QQ plot, but yeah, this is quite a long topic to explain here. But if this data is around this line, is normal. You can say it looks quite normal, but yeah, it's kind of a nice thing to know. And okay, so are there any value needs our attention? Yeah. So as you can see, I labeled this here. When you examine the data, you can see this value is really large. Others is like under 100. This is 750. This means this is probably, we probably somebody typing in wrong didn't really, this zero, this dot should be like here. Decimal point should be here. So normally we went back to the original data, or if this is a questionnaire, we just go back to find the questionnaire and see if is something wrong with the data entry, or if not, we might just contact wherever that just we go back to the original data. Yeah. So this number definitely needs our attention. So now let's do summary, numeric summaries. This one is really easy. This is just a tab for which variable. Oh, for this one. So see, and what do we want? Okay, we want mean, median, we want standard deviation, and yeah. So here is everything we want here. As you can see, this is quite not normal now. And for the last question, we want a scatter plot. So graph, there's okay, there are two numbers we want to choose here. There should be a between WC and AT, right? So scatter, and then should be WC, and this one should be AT. Except, okay. So yeah, so well, this one is a really abnormal one. That's a 750. Okay, and then we want to see if there's difference for men and women. So let's do the same thing, but we are just gonna here say by gender, right? Yeah, so you can see it looks basic like this. Now, just to explore more, let's drop the observation where that's really abnormal. Let's drop this one. I'm just gonna say, can I? Data, drop selected data. Okay, now let's do this two-way scatter plot. Now you can see there's a trend, right? And as the AT increases, the WC increases. And let's do the by gender thing. Well, you can see it's still the same trend, I would say, yeah. So, so dropping this last observation also answers the second question, sometimes when you check back and this, if this is like, uh, yeah, I'm not really sure what's the standard, range for this data, but this one, if this one's really impossible and you cannot really find where is it come from, it is not normal, you can just drop it. Like for somebody's height, it's probably, like you can't be like 10 feet, so you can just drop it. Yeah. Okay, this is the end for the pre-homework thing.